hello everyone. I am here to attend the lectures of our first session, and I am feeling very glad to say that our first session is polity, which covers a larger section of our syllabus. So when we will cover the whole polity topics, only after that we will cover another subjects. Okay students, I hope all of you are mentally prepared. So can we move ahead? Okay students, we are moving ahead. Let's see. Today our topic is preamble. I have selected this topic because preamble is that one section from which UPSC generally asks 1 to 2 questions almost every year. Only certain exceptional year, if we exclude it, then we can find that almost every year 1 to 2 question permanently asked in the pre-examination. Okay. So this is an really important aspect of our preliminary exams, as well as even you can further mention it in your optional if you are a PSIR optional. Okay. So let's look into this topic. Let's see. I hope I am visible to all of you and you can hear me properly. Okay. So let's go. You may wonder that preamble is actually not found originally in the Constitution of India. This is really surprising, but this is the truth, that preamble is not the plan of the founding fathers of the Constitution of India. Preamble was not actually the pre-plan of the founding father of the Constitution of India. Actually, in the Constituent Assembly, during the formation of our Constitution by our founding fathers, there is a debate and discussion going around the formation of Constitution of India. At the same time, our former Prime Minister, Mr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, bring an resolution termed as objective resolution. Okay students, this resolution has been passed in the Constituent Assembly on 26th of November 1949. Look, this is the date on which this objective resolution has been passed. It's 26th November 1949. Fine. What from this date, actually this objective resolution have not come into action. So by when this resolutive option take place? Okay. So this resolutive objective resolution is passed on 26th of January and not 1949, it's 1950. Okay. Fine. From 26th of January 1950, this objective resolution has came into action or enacted. Fine. Listen. About the preamble, I am telling you some fact information. Okay. Preamble is a very delicate part of the Constitution of India. What I am saying here, delicate part, because see, it's a very touchy part of the Constitution. Even Supreme Court mentioned it so many times that preamble has become an important aspect of the Constitution of India. Fine. Because of that, I am here saying that preamble is a very delicate part of the Constitution of India. Originally, preamble was not present. I have already told you. it came from as part of objective resolution. Okay, now let's see from where this idea of preamble has came from in the minds of members of the Constituent Assembly during this era. So that country was actually USA, United States of America. In fact, United States of America was the first country to enact the preamble. This is the first country in the globally who enacted preamble. Fine. The starting words we the people of, we the people, we the people, we the people, these the three words, we the people, 1, 2 and 3. These three words are same as USA. These three words are also the initial parts of the preamble of the Constitution of India, and the same is within USA, the preamble of the USA Constitution. Fine. Actually, many of the countries have taken its preamble format from United States of America, and India also derives its preamble from the United States of America. India has taken the shape and format from USA. Fine. This is the fact. Actually, this question has asked so many times that you must have memorized till now. Okay. Now let's another thing. Another thing is what? Let's look. Here is preamble. Fine. And here is objective resolution. Okay. This objective resolution is different from preamble. This is not the same one. This preamble has gone through certain modification, changes, correctification through the ongoing times. I will tell you in the upcoming times. So I hope this slide has been covered by you. So can I move to next slide, students? Okay, I am moving to next slides. Our next slide, student, what I was talking about earlier just few moments ago is words added in preamble later. Fine. What I have mentioned there, words added in preamble later. Initially, these three words which is present in preamble right now actually were not present at the initial phase when the preamble was enacted. These all three words have been opted in the preamble only in the year 1976 by the process of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, CAA, Constitutional Amendment Act. What I have told you? I have told you that these three words are actually not present at the initial phase of the preamble when preamble was enacted, but these three words have been added in the preamble in the year 1976 during the regime of Mrs. Indira Gandhi as our Prime Minister by the process of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Fine. Any Constitutional Amendment Act will always be done by an article. Listen my words carefully. Any Constitutional Amendment Act, I am repeating it again, any Constitutional Amendment Act will be done only by article. That article is termed as Article 368. Article 368. If we have to amend the constitution, we have to go through this process by amending Article 368. By the way of amending Article 368, this amendment has been done. Any constitutional amendment act, either first or 100th, anyone, they all will be done by Article 368 if they will a constitutional amendment act. If the thing is present in the constitution, then it will be done by Article 368 as constitutional amendment act. Okay, you may get confused that I have told you that earlier that these all three words are present in preamble, not earlier but later. Okay, but I have already told you that preamble is a very delicate part of the constitution, but originally it is not present in the Constitution of India. Okay, so if preamble is originally not present in the Constitution of India, then how the words that is in the preamble can be amended as constitutional amendment act? This is the question arise. Students, what actually happened that in the year 1973 some issue arises in the Supreme Court during a case, ongoing case, and the Supreme Court clearly said that preamble is a part of our constitution. Fine. Then in 1976 these three words have been opted in the preamble of the Constitution of India. I will tell in detail about this case in the further slides. Fine. I hope you have got these points. This socialist, secular and integrity, these three words have been added in the preamble of the Constitution of India by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Fine. So, can we move ahead, students? If you have got all these points, can we move ahead? Okay, fine. We are moving our next slide, students. Students, next slide is about framing of the preamble. Framing means what? Framing means, suppose this is our preamble. Fine. Then this is certain body parts, like from here to here, this describes something else, this one something else, and look like the same. Fine. That is called framing. Fine. So it is divided in four categories of the framing of the preamble of the Constitution of India. And listen one thing, a famous lawyer known as N. Palkiwala, who said that in Supreme Court, he said that preamble is the identity card of the Constitution of India. He said that because, listen it carefully, if any student gets admission in any institution, okay, then he will get his ID card, okay, after entering in that institution. So only after Constitution has been amended, that the whole correctification, modification has been done in the Constitution, then their ID card, their summary, their explanation, their highlighter has been done through the preamble of the Constitution of India. I hope you get it. Now let's do it. Framing of the preamble. Date of adoption. I have already told you date of adoption of preamble of the Constitution of India. At that time preamble was known as objective resolution. So what was that date actually? Tell me. It's 26th of, it's November or January? It's November. Date of adoption, not date of asking like from which preamble has been enacted as action. 26th of November 1949. Fine. I am repeating it. I have already told you earlier in the first slide. Next is nature. Nature is what? Students, nature means anything which has certain natures. Like suppose any painting hanging in the wall. So they have a nature too, that they look either attractive, either less attractive, or we will get very unpleasant by seeing that painting. Fine. So the nature of the preamble of the Constitution of India is, what is the nature? Nature is sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic, and republic. Fine. What is the nature? Sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic, and republic. Sovereign, I will tell all these points in detail in the upcoming slides or in the upcoming lectures. Fine. So sovereign means sovereignty. It means India is a sovereign country. The nature of the Constitution of India, the nature of the preamble of the Constitution of India, it shows that India is a sovereign country. The nature of the preamble of the Constitution of India actually shows that India is a sovereign country. Sovereign means what? Sovereign means India is a country which will take decision of its internal matter as well as external matter by themselves, not by any external means, not by any external pressure. So India is a sovereign country. We all know that India is a sovereign country. After 1950, India is a sovereign country. Okay. Next is secular. We all know India is a place where so many religions present. So India is a secular country. Socialist. Socialist means not Marxism socialism, not Marxist socialism, it's Gandhian socialism. I will tell you detail about in it upcoming slides. Okay, fine. And next is democratic. We all know that democratic form of government India is present till now, means of the people, by the people, for the people. Fine. So India is a democratic country too. Next, republic. Look, which country is said to be a republic? Which nation is termed as republic nation? The nation whose head of a state does not going through their hereditary position. It means it's a hereditary position. Hereditary position means what? If a father has become the head of the state, his son will automatically become the next head of the state. This is called hereditary. But in republic, there is nothing like hereditary when the matter comes to the head of the state. So in India, the head of the state is president, and we all know that there is no any hereditary system in India for the head of the state, like in Britain, where queen is the head of the state as hereditary one. Okay. So India is a republic. Okay. India is a republic too. I hope all these points have been cleared. Now I will cover the third aspect, that is the source of the preamble of the Constitution of India. I hope all the 2 points doesn't left any kind of doubt in your mind, but if you have any kind of issue arise in your mind, you can even contact me, send your query, I will clear all your doubts. Fine. The first thing is that is source. Source is what? Look, I will tell you in the coming times that certain parts of the Constitution of India has been taken from USA, certain parts from Britain, certain from Weimar Republic, certain parts from Canadian. Those are not the source actually. Those are not the sources. The actual source is we the people of India. The people of India, the people of India is the actual source of the preamble of the Constitution of India. We the people, we the people, where preamble starting, we the people are the source of the preamble of the Constitution of India. Always remember that. Fine. Many students mistake that option A USA, B Britain, C Canada and D none of these, or D A B C and E none of these. You will mark A B and C. No, option is none of these. Actual source is we ourselves, not other one. Okay, fine. I hope the third aspect is been cleared. Now can I move to the fourth and last aspect? This is objective resolution. Fine. Objective of objective resolution. What is the objective? Objective of objective resolution, objective of preamble of the Constitution of India. So objective of the preamble of the Constitution of India aims to equality, be equal, do not discriminate on the basis of caste, sex, religion, race, place of birth, gender, etc. as mentioned by the Constitution of India. So equality and many other things like even integrity, unity, the same one, and next thing is even fraternity is also present in that. Fraternity. Fine. Fraternity means what? Fraternity means the sense of brotherhood. It means if different kinds of people living in the same society, then they should live with the harmony and peace. That is sense of brotherhood, that is called as fraternity. So these are things present in objective of the Constitution, objective of the preamble of the Constitution. These are at the actual one we have to achieve for the developing of our the socio-economic welfare of our nation. Till now we do not achieve anyone properly. All people of India are not equally treated, we all know, treated but not in economic sense or even social sense till now. Okay, it's working on. We can hope that after few times or after few years we may achieve it, but look what will happen. So these are the actual things which we have to achieve. So these are the objective of the preamble of the Constitution. Okay students, so I hope these are all the 4 aspects of the framing of the preamble of the Constitution of India has been cleared. If anyone has doubt, please send me your query. Our team will help you, and even if you need our team will send you a detailed note about that query if you want. Fine. So can we move in further slide, students? We are moving. Fine. It's whether the preamble is a part of the constitution. Whether the preamble is a part of the constitution. It's a question mark. Look, we are asking a question that preamble is a part of the constitution or not. So in the later times, after 1970s, Supreme Court held that yes, preamble is a part of the constitution, but before that the same Supreme Court held that no, preamble is not a part of the constitution. Fine. Actually, in year 1973, there was a case called as Keswananda Bharati case. Keswananda Bharati versus a state of Kerala. Keswanandan Bharati versus the state of Kerala. This was the case in 1973 in Supreme Court, and Supreme Court held that yes, Constitution covers preamble. Means yes, preamble is the part of the Constitution of India. Fine. Before that judgment, earlier in 1960s, the same Supreme Court held that no, preamble is not a part of the Constitution. But in year 1973, the Supreme Court changed its stance and shift back to the new position and called that preamble is a part of the Constitution. I will teach you about these cases, almost 3 cases which are related to the preamble of the Constitution of India. These 3 cases are really important, not only important for mains purpose but also important for pre-purpose. Look, in recent years UPSC asked this type of questions too, that they have given certain issues, current issues, even they can mention certain current issues, and they will provide you options, and the option will be 4 cases like Keswananda Bharati case, Minerva Mills case, LIC case or something else. Fine. So they will say that you have to opt out the case related with these issues that happened in the past recent years or past years. So if you will know about these cases, only when you can solve this problem. Even you know the current issues, the current affairs, you have read the full current affairs and you have not read about these cases, then you will actually get confused, you will get trapped in that question. So you have to analyze the current affairs with the static portion. I will take also current affairs classes separately. After few classes will over, I will take it separately, the current affairs classes. That will help you a lot to connect the current issues with the static parts. Really, that will help you a lot. Fine. So please be careful about whatever the cases I will teach you in the upcoming times. Okay. Now let's come to the next slide. This is about students cases related to preamble. I have already told you about Keswananda Bharati case versus state of Kerala. This is about Kesvananda. Keswananda. This is a mistake. This is Keswananda. First case is Berry Bari Union case 1960. This is Bedubari Union case 1960. Second is Keswananda Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973. Third is LIC of India versus Consumer Education and Research Center 1995. Look at students. In Bedubari case, 1960, Supreme Court of India held that yes, preamble is a key features of the constitution, because this preamble was in the mind of the founding fathers of the Constitution of India. But Supreme Court said that yes, it is in the minds of the makers of the founding fathers of the Constitution of India, but Supreme Court said that it is not a part of the Constitution. It is not a part of Constitution. Fine. So till 1960 or in the year 1960, preamble was actually not a part of the Constitution of India. Fine. Till 1973, the same condition was running, but an important aspect happened in the year 1973 in the history of the Supreme Court, the history of Indian judicial system. The year 1973 aims to lead most important year. Okay, one of the most important year. Why? Because the students, in the year 1973, there was a case known as Keswananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, in which Supreme Court said that preamble is a part of the Constitution. Supreme Court said that yes, preamble is a part of the Constitution. This is an important aspect in the history of the Indian judicial system, the history of Indian Constitution. Okay. In this case, Keswananda Bharati versus State of Kerala case in 1973, Supreme Court said that, clearly said that yes, preamble is a part of the Constitution, and because now since preamble is a part of the Constitution, this is preamble and this is Constitution, the bigger one, because preamble is a part of the Constitution, so now this preamble can be amended, anything can be made changes in this preamble by, I have already told you, by which article? By Article 368. Only after that decision in 1973 given by Supreme Court, in the year 1976, the three words which I have illustrated you earlier were added in the preamble of the Constitution of India, because thus 3 years earlier in 1973 the Supreme Court said that, the Supreme Court actually changed its instance from 1960. In 1960 the Supreme Court said that no, preamble was not a part of the Constitution, no, preamble is not a part of the Constitution. But in 1973 the Supreme Court changed its instance and said that yes, Preamble is a part of the constitution, and because of that decision, preamble is a part of the constitution. Now whatever written inside the preamble, you can amend it by a special majority. Okay, by a special majority you can amend it. So only after this statement, this decision given by Supreme Court, this decision given by Supreme Court in the year 1976, after 3 years of that decision, the three new words have been added in the preamble of the Constitution of India. By which article? By Article 368. Fine. I hope this is clear. This is the most famous case, one of the most famous case in the history of Indian judicial system. Besides this point, another important aspect in this case, I will tell you in the upcoming slide. That is much more than this. That is much more keep important than this. Fine. That is the actual base of our judicial system. That is why I am telling you that this is the case which set a milestone in the Indian judicial system. This case is actually related with basic structure of the Constitution. Have you heard any time? Basic structure of the Constitution? Basic structure of the Constitution? No? If heard, then I will tell you in detail. If not, even then I will tell you in detail. Okay? Now let's see the third case. This is case LIC of India versus Consumer Education and Research Center. That case happened in 1995. LIC of India versus Consumer Education and Research Center in 1995. Fine. In this case, the Supreme Court again said that yes, preamble is a part of the Constitution. Yes, preamble is a part of Constitution. Fine. So in this case, the Supreme Court don't change its instance. Until now, the same current status has been evolving. Fine. Preamble is a part of the Constitution. But listen one important thing. In the same judgment, Supreme Court said that preamble is a part of the Constitution, but it is not enforceable in the courts. Fine. It is not enforceable by the courts. Let's suppose if any one human rights have been disgranted, then that person, that human can go into court, and that the court has to allow that person to restore their grants. But that kind of situation not belong in the preamble. Preamble is actually not enforceable by the courts. Like fundamental duty is not enforceable by the courts, the same as preamble is not enforceable by the courts. I will tell you fundamental duties after 3 to 4 lectures, fine, or maybe in the upcoming 1 or 2 lectures. So I hope this slide has been clear to you. So can I move in further slide, students? So I am moving to the next slide. Fine. Now let's see. We will look one by one to each and every keywords. These are the keywords. Which I will tell you in detail. What are these keywords? sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Few of them I have already told you a little bit, but I will tell in describe now. Now listen to number 1. This is our number 1. Sovereign. I have already told you about something about sovereign. Sovereign. India is a sovereign country, and what the preamble of the constitution shows that. Preamble of the constitution of India shows that India is a sovereign country. Sovereign means what? It is not a nature. It is not a nature, or it is not an objective. What is? It comes under which? Nature or objective? It comes under nature. It comes under nature. Fine. So sovereign is a nature of the Constitution of India. Sovereign is a nature of the preamble of the Constitution of India. Sovereignty shows whatever the position of India has as a nation. Okay. So sovereign means we can divide it in two categories: internal and external. Internal and external. Fine. Internal means if India is internally sovereign country, that means no other country will interfere in India's internal matter. It means if there is a certain issue arises between one state to another state, then what will happen? Like suppose for Kaveri River water problem dispute related between few south states. Suppose if Tamil Nadu and Karnataka fought for any water dispute, so can America should interfere in India's internal matter? Should we? In other countries' matter, internal matter? Not at all. Because India is internally sovereign country, that's why no other countries will interfere in India's internal matters. Fine. Have you get my point? No other countries will interference in India's internal handling matters. Why? Because India is a sovereign country, and India is a internal sovereign country as well as external too. So India is a sovereign country. External means what? Means India has to keep its friendship with which nation India will decide. No other nation will decide that from which country India has to make this kind of agreement and from which country India has to keep its friendship or not. Other countries will not decide. Okay, only India will decide that what India has to do at the global level. Fine. And if certain question arises that said Commonwealth nations or United Nations, these are the bounding that India is not externally sovereign, not at all. These decisions of Commonwealth or any United Nations are not binding on any nations. Fine. Because of that portion is not binding on any nations, so whatever the decision was actually taken by United Nations or Commonwealth nations, India does not ready or it may ready to appear like that. Whatever the situation is going on, even India can appear or India may not appear. Whatever India wants, India can do. So sovereign. India is a sovereign country. Fine. The second thing is that socialist. Socialist means it's not, I am talking about Marxist socialism. It's Marxist socialism. Not, this is not Gandhian socialism. This is the actual one. We will talking about socialist. Fine. Marxist socialism is about that if a country has certain money in a store and Suppose it's a country has $1,000 in their central bank, fine, and 100 people are present in that nation. So according to Marxist socialism, those $100 will be distributed in those 100 persons equally. They will give $10 to each persons. Okay, fine. But India does not opted out for Marxist socialism. India opted for Gandhian socialism. India will provide opportunity to reach out at that sections. India will provide so many platforms to reach out at that section that is really different from Marxist socialism. Fine. Gandhian socialism is really different from Marxist socialism. This is the ground level socialism. Marxist socialism is the ground level socialism, but Gandhian socialism is little bit modern era socialism. Fine. I will tell you more about Gandhian socialism whenever I will teach you about essay or men's and answer writing practice. Then I will give questions you on this, and I will take certain classes on Marxism and Gandhianism. Fine. Next thing is that secular. See students, in India there are so many religions which live with harmony and peaceful. Fine. Which live with harmony and peaceful. So can we say that India is a secular country? Can we say that? Of course, India is a secular country, no doubt in about that. Fine. I hope seculars is the point, you all will get it. You have all heard about that. Okay. So I am taking you regarded one question that is named as Esar Bomai versus Union of India case. Esar Bomai versus Union of India case. In this case, Supreme Court said that secularism is a basic structure of the constitution, and I will tell you what is basic structure of the constitution in the just the upcoming slide. After these keywords will over, I will tell you about the basic structure of the constitution. So in the Esar Bomai versus Union of India case, Supreme Court said that secularism is the basic structure of the constitution which can never be amended. It means India is a secular country and India will be a secular country till that time whenever Supreme Court is present in India. Fine. Next thing is democratic. I have told you earlier that democratic means what? Of the people, by the people and for the people. A government elected by of the people, by the people and for the people. And we all know that India is a democratic country. So I don't think so that any new things I have to tell you about that. Fine. Republic, I have already told you that any nation which has the head of the state is belongs to hereditary, like in Britain, the queen, after that queen, his son will take over that position. But in India, since the head of the state is president, the head of the state is president, not the prime minister. In India, the head of the state is president, and we all know that the Indian president never come in the position like hereditary position. Fine. So India is a republic country, as America. In America, there is nothing like hereditary position. As in America too, the head of the state is president. So India and America both are a republic nation. Fine. Next thing is justice. I will tell you about justice right now. I hope these are the 5 points. I have cleared all your doubts. If not, then please contact our team. Our team will provide you detailed notes about that query and we will support you. Fine, but please don't ignore any point. These all are the important points. These are the points which actually asked in the examination hall. Next thing is that justice. Fine. Our founding fathers thought that during the preparation of the Constitution of India, our founding fathers found that justice is actually important, but only political and legal justice is not able to overcome the justice portion of the all the people of India. So the founding fathers thought that something else should be given as the process of justice. Only political and legal justice cannot help to achieve the justification for all. So they have provided some regards in the constitution that socio and economic justice must be given to the needy. Fine. I hope you are getting my points. The founding fathers of the constitution realized that justice is important for all of the people, but only political and legal justice will not overcome the solution of all the people of justification. So they decided that social and economic justice must be given to the people who needed it actually. Fine. I hope these are the slides which have been clear to you. Now the 3 points remaining left I will cover right now. Fine. I hope socialist, secular, democratic republic and justice, these all points have been covered clearly. Now I am coming to the point number 7. This is called liberty. Okay, the liberty means not the actual one, like this is not a general liberty. This is a little bit different liberty. Liberty means what? Liberty means, look, suppose this means individual liberty. It means individual liberty. Whatever you want, you eat. Whatever you want, you read. Whatever you want, you follow. Whatever you want, you do. But in the limit of the Constitution of India. This is about individual liberty. Fine. This is all about individual liberty. For this, there are so many provisions mentioned in the question. There are so many provisions mentioned in the Constitution. So our Constitution provides liberty. The preamble of the Constitution of India provides liberty to each and every individual to walk, travel, live, follow, eat, wear anything whatever they like without any pressurization. Fine. So can we move further? Next thing is equality. Fine. Have you got my point of liberty? If not, tell me. I will make a video special on any of the query for which if more students will find a problem on the same query, then I will make a separate video of 5 to 10 minutes or even 15 minutes for those students, and I will clear all the doubts. Fine. Next is equality. Equality. Fine. This is about objective. Equality is not about the nature of the preamble of the Constitution. Equality is all about the objective of the preamble of the Constitution. I have already told you that sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic and republic, these are the natures of the preamble of the Constitution of India. I am repeating it again, students. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic, these are the nature of the preamble of the Constitution of India. But equality, integrity, fraternity, these all are the objectives of the preamble of the Constitution of India, not the nature. These are the objectives, what we have to achieve. What we have to achieve, these are the objectives of the preamble of the Constitution of India. So we have to achieve equality. We have to achieve equality. Fine. We have to achieve equality in our society, equality in wealth, equality in living standard, equality in the whole thing. Either equality in treating facilities, other equality in sanitizing facilities, either equalities in hospitalizing facilities, either equality in, it means the whole educational facilities. So equality means the whole socio-economic equality reforms. Okay. So I hope anything's not important to tell you about equality. You all know about that. The persons, the rich persons and the poor person. There should be a bridge. There should be a bridge. There should be a bridge like a rich person and a poor person. There should be a bridge to cover up this gap. There should be a bridge to cover up this gap, so that after few time, the poor person will able to achieve their standard livelihoods. Fine. This should be the equality. This should be the objective of the Constitution of India. This should be the objective of the preamble of the Constitution of India. Fine, students. Next thing is fraternity. I have already told you about the fraternity, that fraternity means the sense of brotherhood. What? The sense of brotherhood. So in just 1 minute I will finish it. Fraternity I have already told you, so just in 1 minute I will finish it. Fraternity means what? The sense of brotherhood. Which kind of religion living in which place, which kind of caste people living in which place, it doesn't matter. We have to live in with sense of brotherhood, with peace and harmony, and we will together develop our country. This should be the objective. Fraternity, this should be the fraternity. Equality, fraternity, this should be the objective. These are the objectives of the preamble of the Constitution of India. These are the objectives we have to achieve. Even till now we don't have achieved right now any 100%, even equality, integrity or fraternity. Integrity however we have achieved somehow, actually more than 99%, but equality and fraternity we have to achieve. Fine. So sense of brotherhood, live together with peace and harmony. I hope all these points have been covered. So can I move further, students? I am moving further. Fine. Now students, amendability of the preamble. Amendability of the preamble. I hope till now all of your points have been cleared. If not, please contact our team, contact to me. We will provide detailed solution to you. Fine. Amendability of the preamble. It means what? That how a preamble can be amended. Can a preamble be amended or not? Preamble cannot be amended. I think this answer, all of you know this answer, because I have already told you. Because in 1973, during the Kesavananda Bharati versus the state of Kerala case in 1973, the Supreme Court clearly said that preamble is a part of the Constitution. Fine. If preamble is a part of the Constitution and the Constitution can be amended by Article 368, if preamble is a part of the Constitution, so if Constitution can be amended, then preamble can also be amended. By which process? By Article 368. So this is nothing new, you already know, I have already told you about this. So amendability of the preamble is possible, but only with the special majority, not like simple majority or something else. Fine. So I am moving to the next slide. Fine. Listen, students. This is the thing which we can relate with the present time too. Preamble is not a source of power for legislature, and if don't limits the power of legislature. I am repeating it again. Listen carefully. Preamble is, listen, preamble is not a source of power for legislature. Actually, preamble is not a source of power for legislature, because preamble is not enforceable by the courts. Preamble is a part of the constitution, yes, we know, but actually it is not enforceable by the courts. Fine. Preamble is not a source of power for legislature. Constitution is a source of power for legislature. Constitution is a source of power for legislature. This is justification. But preamble is not a source of power for legislature. Why? Because not enforceable by the courts. Next thing is that and it don't limits the power of the legislature. Automatically, vice versa, if preamble is not enforceable by the courts, then automatically if any law that discard or disgrant the respect of preamble, any law made by legislature, any law made by parliament or even legislative assembly of respective states make a law that disregard the preamble of the word, any words present in the preamble of the Constitution of India, then can Supreme Court puts down that legislature? Not at all, because I have already told you that it is not a source of power for legislature as like Constitution. So if not a source of power, then for how you will have to be responsible for that source? Fine. This is the same thing that if a person A has given the authority to person B to handle with the person C, a person A given the responsibility to person B to handle with person C, A is not directly handling with person C. A wants that B should handle with C, so he has given his authority to B to handle with C. Now if he has not direct authority with C, then how he is responsible for that communication? B will be responsible for that. Only like that. A is the constitution, A is the constitution, B is the preamble, and C is the legislature. Fine. So constitution is the source of power for legislature, but because preamble is not enforceable by the courts, so preamble is not a source of power for legislature, and because preamble is not a source of power for legislature, so even legislature made any law, it does not, if legislature made any law which disregard the preamble, even then Supreme Court cannot disqualify that law. But in the same matter, if any law breaks down the basic value of the Constitution, the Supreme Court can void just the law null. Okay, fine. I hope these points also cleared. Now the next point I think we should cover right now, so that we can finish off the preamble parts, and I will take your test of the preamble today. So can I move further, students? I think very few points have been left, or even I hope it may cover down. So can I move further? Okay, students, I am moving further. Yeah, this is the thing I have to tell you. Basic structure of the Constitution. Fine. Basic structure of the Constitution. It is the thing which is the soul of the Constitution at present time. Fine. At present time, it is the soul of the Constitution of India. Fine. Like secularism in SR Bommai versus Union of India case, Supreme Court held that secularism is the basic structure of the Constitution of India. Because of that, India's brotherhood sense, fraternity sense, the objective of the preamble of the Constitution of India, example fraternity, will be achieved only when the basic structure of the Constitution will be safeguard. Fine. So what is basic structure of the constitution? Actually, basic structure of the constitution never mentions itself in the constitution. This term not mentions in the constitution. Actually, this term is not mentioned in the constitution, but it is a judicial paramount, judicial system. It is a judicial part. Fine. In the year 1973, I have told you that I will tell another thing about Keswananda Bharati versus the state of Kerala state. A state of Kerala case. Fine. And that is the thing which I am telling you right now, which I have told you earlier that I will tell you. Fine. So, in the year 1973, I will tell you in a format, just see it, and all of your doubts have been cleared, I hope. Just see it very carefully. I am making a simple diagram for you. Let's see. In 1973, it's a Keswananda Bharati versus a state of Kerala. Fine. In 1973, what happened that the first judgment Supreme Court said that what? That preamble is a part of constitution. Preamble is a part of constitution, but is not enforceable by the courts. Fine. The second thing also mentioned that you cannot amend the basic structure of the constitution. You cannot amend the basic structure of the constitution. And what is basic structure? That itself, Supreme Court said that what will be the basic structure of the constitution, it will depend upon whatever the upcoming cases will come on in the Supreme Court. Fine. So, few examples are the basic structure of the Supreme Court, like these are the equality and something like that, which I have already told you. Secularism in S.R. Bommai versus Union of India case, Supreme Court held that secularism is the basic structure of the Constitution of India. So, till now a few basic structures have been added. Fine. And if further cases have been coming in the Supreme Court regarding that portion, that new words will be mentioned. Fine. But it is upon the, so who will decide that what is basic structure of the constitution? Ultimately it is the judicial system, it is the Supreme Court who will decide that which part is called as basic structure of the constitution. Upon their self sense and self discussions, the judges of the Supreme Court will mention that what is the basic structure of the constitution, that the particular matter that has come in the Supreme Court case that belongs to the matter of basic structure of the constitution or not, it will be decided upon by the judicial system called as Supreme Court. Fine. So, I hope you are getting it, basic structure of the constitution. Before 1973, there was nothing like this kind of term in the basic structure of the constitution. Basic structure of the Constitution of India is actually the soul of the Constitution of India at present time. Why I am saying this? Because students, even we all know that this time a party ruling with full majority, if he can want, he may amend any kind of constitutional amendment act. But if certain issues happen and Supreme Court feel that no, this should not be happening, So by giving regarding this option, basic structure of the constitution, Supreme Court can hold that this law is null and void, means this law cannot be implemented till that point of time through which, or till that harsh moment through which that should not be eliminated. Fine. So basic structure of the constitution, in the year 1973 this has been came, and in the year 1976 42nd amendment, constitutional amendment act has been come, which is also called as mini constitution, because so many amendments have been done during 42nd constitutional amendment act that it is also termed as mini constitution. And because of that fear, this basic structure of the constitution of India really helps a safeguards, really makes a safeguards to the constitution of India. I hope these points have been clear to your students. I hope so. Nothing is remaining left, and I am telling you that preamble topic has been finished right now, and I will take your test. I will upload the test on Telegram channel, as well as I will provide in the YouTube description box too. Fine. You have to take that test, and I will send the answers in the evening time or in the night time. You have to verify it, and whatever your doubt was, you have to mention it and send me on Telegram channel, or even contact me, contact our team. They will assist you, and I will, if any problem arises, then meet me on Zoom session. I have provided you my Zoom ID and password in the introduction video. Fine. I will provide in the details in this video too. Fine. So I hope all of your doubts have been cleared. Of course, your Zoom session will be on from 5 to 6 p.m. in the evening. Fine. It's not 5 to 6 p.m. It's, I think, 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes is enough. So 5 to 5:30, and I will take Zoom session only when your doubts will come on Telegram channel, or even in any of our platform, even WhatsApp number or calling number. Only when I will attend Zoom session. Fine. Otherwise I will not attend at all. Fine. So I have sent your notes in the Telegram channel. I will send the notes in the YouTube description box too of this preamble section. I will take the test of the preamble, and I will start a new topic tomorrow. Fine. Thank you, students. Thank you.